Okay, so here's a different way to look at your new business and how to manage it. We used to, years ago, many years ago, manage by the month. And that we would be evaluating how we did with new business monthly. Well, by the time you get to the end of the month and so probably a week later, maybe even 2 weeks later, you're looking back at that month and you're going, oh, wow. And if you haven't accomplished what you wanted, well, you're now 45 days from the first date that you were looking back to, and so time has lapsed. So we strongly recommend that you manage by your production, your new business production, weekly. And so you're tracking it and totaling it. I mean, in our office, we produce a report by underwriter every week that shows exactly how we have done the prior week. We don't wait a long time, so we know that if we need to change anything or refocus, or we can do it. We could turn the ship around much more quickly, and so we know you always know where you're at if you're managing on weekly. Whereas monthly, the month goes by, you're into the second month, and you're looking way back. So this is how I recommend. By the way, Outlook, you can actually put the weeks on. I think there's a button on there where you can label your calendar with the weeks, and that makes it a little bit easier because you can see what week you're in. Okay, so managing your commercial book. We're talking about new business. You have to have a marketing strategy. So, and there's so much that we do, but I think it's just important that you have to pay a little bit of attention to all of these areas. And it can be little steps that you take. It doesn't have to be, a big, marketing plan. You develop a simple, small strategy that you start implementing a little bit each week. And that's really, should drive off of your X dating. So you want to manage those commercial profiles, which is you want to be tracking your X dates as they come up and start working them 10 weeks out prior to, and know where you're going with your with the potential for new business. And if you don't have a lot of X dates, it means that you've got to be constantly working to get more X dates, because you'll never have enough of them, because not all of them are going to pan out to be a good policy for you to buy. Follow the sales equation, because you really got to use that as your guide. Your X date, presentation, close equals bind. Set some weekly goals for yourself for premium. How much PIF, policy in force, how many policies do you want to write, and how much premium do you want to write on a weekly basis? That's so that when you track your weekly new business, you can see how you've done, whether you're meeting those goals, whether they're reasonable or not. And you can increase your fee income with broker's fees. And also premium financing, depending on the agreement that you have with them. Sometimes you can earn off of the premium financing as well. So those are things that can always, make your policies, your commercial department more profitable. And then renewal business. Treat every renewal like new business. And I can't say it any better than that. It's so important that renewals are treated, because again, you don't touch these commercial policies throughout the year very much. So if you're not making that effort to reach out to that insured at least once a year, someone else is going to be hunting them, and they have to feel like you've taken care of them, that you've got their back, and that they can trust that they don't need to go anywhere else. And then manage by report. You should have an expiration report. And so farmers, if you're a farmer's agent, farmers does all of that for you. So when you have an outside book of business, and if you're independent, you might have an agency management system, but or you may not, depends on the size of your agency. But either way, Excel makes a great, ability. And we have on our website a Excel spreadsheet with the months of the year, and you can create your own expiration list for your renewals that you can work year after year after year. And that that's a super important thing. We have a 60-30-10. Start 60 days out gathering the information you need, and 30 days get your proposal out there, and at 10 days you're giving a reminder follow up to get the renewal bound. So that's the way to manage your reports. And you will have, you'll be working, probably 3 or 4 months at a time, because you're looking back and moving forward at the same time. And then know your retention and lapse ratio. So close out that month, and we say manage those by reports. Renewals I like to manage by, not by week, but by month. So you're looking at, that's why you'll be doing different months at a time, because you go back and you take a look at that month and say, how was my retention? How, did I retain at least 90 to 95% of my renewal premium? That's what you want to be looking at. You want to be looking at lapse situations where you're losing them midterm or canceling midterm first year, or you don't make it to the renewal at all because it doesn't renew after the first year. Those are all signs of, that you types of policies you're writing may not necessarily be stable for your agency. And then manage policy audits. You really have to keep an eye on those to make sure that, especially if an audit produces a result that is, causes an increase in premium, you want to make sure that the existing policy gets endorsed to correct, so that you don't keep repeating this, because audits, when premiums due on an audit, it's usually due now, and it's not like where you get a payment plan. They do offer them in situations where there's a hardship for the insured, so always ask for that as needed. And then this is a perfect time to ask for referrals, because if people are happy with you, they will refer a friend. We get a lot of our business by referrals. Okay, and then now let's talk about service. Service sometimes can actually be people end up, it's sort of like droning. It's a processing kind of, and some people find it so much easier just to do service than to do all the things that really make your agency successful. So you really have to watch that, and your employees will do the same thing. So when, if you're going to hire people, duplicate yourself. All employees are a part of the sales equation. You don't just have them be, a data input person or customer service. Everyone has to buy into the objectives of the agency and help build it, because there's cross-sell going on. I mean, everyone needs to understand the objective and the goals of the agency. Work smart, use forms and templates. That's what we live off of. And then, for some of your employees, you may want to use time management sheets to ensure that they're getting everything accomplished that needs to get accomplished. Use good judgment and problem solving. Problem solving is huge in the insurance world. There's always a problem waiting to happening. And then prevent cancellations. You want to have a payment follow-up system. We use one. We will be reminding you. It's important that you use a system in your own office. If you don't have one, you need assistance with developing one. We have some simple how-to systems that we can offer to help you with. and then always cross sell.